Hey everybody, this is Rebecca Totilo with aromahut.org, and today we're going to be making some more rollerball or roll-on perfume oils. Now you can use alcohol in place of the carrier oil. In my case, I'm going to be using fractionated coconut oil, and I'm just doing this because I personally like to just roll it on and have it hold to the skin versus with an alcohol that you might use in a spray. It just sort of fills the room, dissipates very quickly, whereas this will hold it. And another thing about this particular product that we're going to be making, I'm not going to be using any fragrant oils. I'm only going to be using the pure therapeutic grade essential oils. And again, not that the therapeutic properties are really going to play into it, because this is simply just for fragrance. But since we are going to be using pure oils, we will be getting those benefits. Isn't that nice? So in this case, I did choose to pick out, some glass roll-on bottles. You can get these at Amazon. I'll share the link below. And I also added some nice colored stones and gems. So this one is like amethyst, and I've got quartz and some other ones. Just because I like to make them beautiful, and it's a nice gift for someone if you wanted to give it to them. When we're making the perfumes, and we will share this in another video, but we can make products as good as the ones on the market. We in this case will be using pure oils versus the fragrant and the chemical compounds that they might use in the department store ones that you find. But the ones that you can make can be just as nice. The fragrance might not last as long, but you can also reapply it again and again, and that won't be a problem. These recipes will call for 3% dilution or 3 to 5% dilution rate, which means we're going to be adding 3 drops of essential oil to 100 drops of carrier, whether that be coconut oil, almond oil, or if you're going to use an alcohol. If you can get a hold of some perfumers, alcohol, of course you can do it that way. In this case, this is a fast and easy way. I also have funnels this time so we can pour it right into the bottle easier than before when I was trying to scrape it in. I have a glass stir rod I like to use because I can wash it, use it again and again, and of course we have our glass bowls. Again, I'll share the link below so you can find these on Amazon. And we do have our disposable pipettes. Now when I use a pipette, this is a one-time use. I'm not going to bother washing them. I buy them by the thousands. And these we go through quite a bit because when we're making blends, we do not want to cross-contaminate our oils by sticking it in another bottle. So it'll be a one-time use. If we need to use it for the thick oils, we use it and toss it, okay? And all of these recipes, these are just simple, very basic recipes I'm going to be showing you. But I really would hope that if you really love perfume making and really want to know the professional techniques and how they do it at some of the mainstream houses as the noses, get a hold of this book. This will tell you all about that, the history and the beautiful fragrances and all the different aspects of perfume making. However, I do not get into the fragrant oils because I tend to focus on the essential oils. So this is only going to be covering the essential oils, and I do have quite a few here. So there's plenty to use for making perfumes, and you'll enjoy this if you want to know more. We'll be doing another video on that and get more into the techniques of one of my practices, which is called the shot glass technique that I use for making blends. We'll talk about that again. But let's go ahead and get started, because in my first blend, it's called Peace, and I'm going to be using patchouli essential oil, grapefruit essential oil, and lang lang. Now again, we would normally have a base, middle, and top note. In this case, we're really actually using 2 base, and the grapefruit is our top note. So we're sort of missing our middle note. We might want to add that because when we build a composition of blending for fragrance, we want to make sure all of the elements are there, because when the top note lifts and we don't smell that anymore, that'll be for the first 15 seconds. Now we're going to get into the heart of the blend. And the heart is the middle note. Those notes will be missing in this particular one, so we're going to have to check it and make sure we like it. There's ways around that. We're going to work on that. But normally, this is just a simple blend with 3 oils. We could really go further out and do 9 to 12 oils, and I'll show you that in another video. But let's just go ahead and get started. So this one is going to be a nice heavy, I would say almost, or this is an aquatic earth tone. It's actually unisex. You could use it for males or females. So let's go ahead and get our patchouli. I love patchouli. Obviously, I'm a product of the 60s. This is a thick oil, so I'm having a hard time getting it out, but let's see. Once it goes, you know how that is. Okay, maybe not. I might need to get a pipette out here. Okay, let me take this out, because this is a very thick oil, and it's going to need a little help here, so let's go ahead and do this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did it look like I did more? No. This smells wonderful. It's very, very earthy, so this one is going to be nice. Now we want to add 3 drops of our grapefruit, and this is a very thin oil. This is a top note, so 2, 3. You can see it comes out pretty quick. And for another base, we're going to be adding Lang Lang. Now, in some cases, people might consider this a middle. I go with the base. I think it is a heavy scent. It does last a long time. And we base that on the velocity of the oil, of how fast it evaporates, how long does it last. So let's just go ahead and blend these up. Usually when I blend a drop, I test it, because you know what? I may not want to go with, let's say, 3 drops of grapefruit. Oh, wow, that's so good. Anything with grapefruit and patchouli is going to be good, though. Ah, that's very nice. You know what? It's almost perfect, just the way it is. So I'm going to go ahead and get my bottle here. And I'm going to use a pipette to get these oils out. And go ahead and add these in. And you know, the patchouli lasts so long. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with that oil, but this is, I think, a pretty light one. They do come in dark as well. And it actually is like a wine. It actually gets better with age. So I've had patchouli that's lasted for years, and it just gets better and better. I'm going to go ahead and just squeeze in the coconut oil and leave a little space just in case I want to check, you know, later, and maybe add a little more later to it. Because I'm going to have to just, after I shake this up, usually you want to shake it up once a day and let it sit just to meld together and just help to let that perfume form. Ah, nice. It's very, very earthy. I love that. That is very beautiful. Let's go ahead and put our label on. This one's called Peace. Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? Peace for patchouli, huh? If I can get the label off here. There we go. These are translucent, or, you know, transparent labels, which is really nice, so you can see inside the bottle. And then it's a very, very, very pretty presentation. I'll be checking on this again, maybe tomorrow, and shake it up again. All right, let's go ahead and make another one. And this one is going to be called Pure. Now, the Pure, let me set this aside here. We are going to be using bergamot, black pepper, frankincense, another favorite, and let's see what else. Rosemary. Rosemary. That's our middle note, actually. Okay, let's see if we got them all here. So our base note is frankincense. So we're going to start with 2 drops. Oops, was that 3? I think I did. And let's see, let's go ahead and add our middle note. We have actually black pepper, and we have a rosemary and black pepper. So I'm going to do 2 drops of black pepper, and rosemary, I'm going to do 1 drop. There. And now let's go ahead and get our top note, which is going to be 3 drops of bergamot. And that's going to be an interesting scent, isn't it? Okay. Let's go ahead and mix these up. if you really want to be creative, a lot of these oils have a little bit of a tinge of color, and so you can actually make some very beautiful products just based on their color. Wow, that's pretty sharp, and it's because of the rosemary. It's very, very strong, and with the black pepper, you get that little bit of spicy scent. This one is a green fresh citrus, but I'm not really finding any kind of bergamot, so I think I want to add one more bergamot, because that rosemary seems to be very, very powerful. You know, when I make blends for lotions, I tend to have to go a little heavier on the oils because the scent does get lost in them, you know, when you make salves or lotions or balms or anything. Wow, that is pretty strong. I'm still getting such a strong hint of that rosemary, and rosemary has that camphorous scent to it. It's very herbaceous and camphorish. So I'm not sure I'm really liking this. Oh, I feel like I need to touch it up a little bit. Sorry, gonna change the recipe up on y'all guys. But I need to add a little frankincense just to smooth it out a little bit. I just feel like it just needs something else to it. And of course, it's gonna smell different in your bottle. So let's just go ahead and get our pure, let's go ahead and get our pipette and add it to our bottle. Judah and I went to St. Martin and we learned how to make perfume down there, and that was so much fun. I enjoyed that thoroughly. And I tell you what, Judah made just some wonderful pieces, and his brother now has stolen his bottle of perfume that he made, and he uses it all the time. And I've offered to get him some others. He, you know, even at the department store, some Versace or Sauvage, and he's like, no, I like Judah's better. It's funny. So he carries it around with him and uses it. Okay, now this one, gotta find another place to add, you know. And you know how oils are. They smell different on different people. So you have to check them, you know, like I'll be borrowing people's skin and saying, here, let me try this on you, because you run out of places. And also, it's going to smell different on different people. All right, so this one's called Pure, and I'm going to go ahead and put my label on. And we'll check it again and make sure we like it, because, you know, it just depends on what you're going for. I personally like more the spicy Oriental ones, and so I like the heavier scents. Depending, you know, each its own. This one is more of an outdoory perfume or fragrant oil, and this could be for guys as well. Although I do have pink stones in there. My amethyst is in there. So we'll let this sit and we'll check on it again tomorrow. Now my last one I want to make, we're going to do Secret, because I realized I just have a bergamot here, and we're going to do a patchouli, and again another lang lang. So I like patchouli, so this will be good too. So this one's actually called Secret. I told you guys wrong. All right, so let's go ahead and do our 2 drops of patchouli. There we go. Oops, was that 3? All right, and let's see. We're gonna go ahead and add 3 drops of lang lang. Another technique with adding your blend together is building accords, right? And so we're gonna have horizontal and vertical accords, which means that we're gonna build those before we actually put them together in our fragrance. But this is just a simple 3 oil blend. So let's go ahead and add our top note, 4 drops of bergamot. And let's just see how that one turned out. Oh, wow, that's pretty good. All right, I just happen to love those fragrances, so it's very easy for me to pick those out, and I just love the bergamot. That is, I drink Earl Grey tea every day, and bergamot is in it, so that's one of my favorite. And then, of course, patchouli and lang lang, they do well together. They are good. All right, so let's go ahead and add our coconut oil. And I think I want to get the rest of this out. So what I'm going to do is just pour a little bit of this in so I can get it to mix. And get that last drop of patchouli. You see that color? I don't know if you could see this, but you can actually see the patchouli is sinking because it's a heavy oil. So the molecular weight of it is heavier. That's why it lasts longer. All right, so shake them up every day. Check your blend, maybe leave it for a week or two, but you know, shake it every day. Do this. And let's not forget to add our label, because we don't want to forget what we put in it. And again, you will just maybe tweak it a little bit if you feel like it's not strong enough for your taste. But you can also reapply as needed, so you don't need to worry about it being too strong. But there you go, it's secret. Isn't that easy? I mean, it's just so simple. And you can make these for friends and give them to people for gifts or stocking stuffers. So many ways to use these. I just love these. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a comment below, or if you have a question, you want to know more about the blending techniques, visit our website at aromatic.org, and I look forward to seeing you again. Don't forget to subscribe.